it would have helped if I had my mic unmuted. Well, that is very helpful, but hello. Right, let's start that one again. I was about to say Silverstone, then Hungary, and then I got to it. The Belgium Chronicles, here from a very wet Spa. Now this is going to be a very quick one. I might do a second part later as a recording. It's also going to help then if there is any delays. Reason why is I'm 20 minutes away from a one-off Roblox League commentary that I need to run to, where they have qualifying the race. I need to host the pre-race show. I need to host the post-race, post-qualifying, pre-quali, and then obviously the pre-race, and then the post-race as well. Then I'll be in the sim, so I really don't get a break today. I don't really get a break today at all. I've been at it, and I really had to rush. So we don't really have the graphics and all of that we would usually have, some overlays over the screen. This is just purely my thoughts on the session. I'm trying to update you from what comes to my mind. We're not going to be running through every single result and all of that. We're going to try and get this done as quick as possible. However, don't worry, we're still going to give you quite a bit of information. However, right, let's start off with Formula 1 then. I'll keep saying however, but let's get to it then. Formula 1, we had a pole position for Max Verstappen. In Q2 he was close to being eliminated. Then it got together for him. On the first one it didn't look the best. It looked like Leclerc had it. And then on the second one, yes, he does get a penalty for tomorrow. But one thing I wasn't too happy about, pole doesn't mean anything. Even though I might be a Ferrari fan, pole doesn't mean anything. I mean, you had Max Verstappen over 8 tenths clear of Leclerc. And we know he's going to dominate, so I can't really feel happy about anything, to be honest. Yes, we didn't even get to feel the moment. Yes, we know that we're going to be starting from pole, but he didn't go fastest right at the end either. So it is one of those ones where, yes, you're from the front, but you know that they're definitely not going to win at all unless there is chaos or we get a Spa 2021, which is definitely a possibility. Now, the weather played a massive part, but for Formula 1 it did start drying out. We had Sergio Perez in third position, and then Lewis Hamilton in fourth. So Perez will be alongside Leclerc on the front row, and then as I said, Hamilton in fourth, Sainz in fifth, Piastri and Norris in 6th and 7th, both McLaren in Q3, but they would have been hoping that they could have been a tiny bit more higher, but I mean, it is expected with Red Bull obviously being there. Perez now actually in the top positions. Leclerc getting a tiny bit back. Hamilton after that pole in Hungary, also very well. Still continuing some good form in fourth. So McLaren, even though they've got third and fourth in the last two races, they're kind of returning a bit back. So, well, actually in Silverstone they did get second and third, but McLaren, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And then we had Sainz, Piastri, Norris, as I already said, Russell, Alonso, Stroll, Tsunoda, Gasly, Magnussen, Bottas, Ocon, Albon, Joe, Sargent, Ricciardo, and Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg usually in Q3, but this time found the exit, and right at the back he'll start in 20th, obviously ignoring any other penalties, which we could still get, but if there is penalties then he might get promoted 1 or 2 positions. But Leclerc, as I said, is going to be getting promoted a position, and so will Perez, Hamilton, as well as Verstappen is going to take a 5-place grid penalty. It was announced today that he is taking a new gearbox after the failure he had in Jeddah, which was the last time and only time this season that he was eliminated in Q2. Got close today though with that major mistake. Basically, we'll get onto Ocon as well, who found the exit just wide, all the way wide through Speaker's Corner, found the barrier. Did Esteban Ocon. Verstappen followed him, but didn't find the wall, and he still managed to get through. Tripped through the gravel, wasn't as wide though as Ocon, so that was the good thing. But lost a lot of time, and it was the second sector mostly. His first sector wasn't phenomenal either. It was mostly the second sector though where he lost all the time. However, he was able to then get it back in the third sector, and then was able to manage to just about get through. So he just about got through, and for the first time this season, we would have we might have seen a an elimination when Verstappen doesn't have a failure, and sadly feels like it was ages ago, even though it's all flown by. So that was absolutely incredible that we almost got it, but luck is always on Max Verstappen's side. So for Formula 1, we'll go sprinting tomorrow. Obviously, Verstappen's penalties for Sunday. Today's grid is for Sunday, so it's going to give us an interesting race, depending also on what the weather forecast does as well. We'll now get on to Formula 2 and Formula 3, but before I do it, I'll now explain why it's so early, why this is actually so early, because we've just finished qualifying. Josh is now doing Formula E. The only reason why I'm having to rush here is because I really won't have time later on. I have the F1 highlights to do, and I'm also going to record the F1 sim prediction, so Josh also has a lot more stuff also to have. Just in case if there's delays, because the weather might be worse than today. So overall from Formula 1, it was another exciting qualifying. Qualifyings this year have been banging. The races have not delivered though up to the standards that those that the qualifying sessions have. The qualifying, every qualifying session I really do look forward to. And yes, okay. Now obviously we do complain quite a bit, but I'm looking forward to the sprint shootout, because qualifyings have been more interesting, and the sprint shootout was interesting as well in Austria. But it does go by super quickly, doesn't it? With the very short sessions, obviously we might get red flags, we might even get a big delay. Then it'll feel very, very long. But it was an absolutely incredible Formula 1 session once again. It was really, really great to watch. We had DRS also in Q3, so it made it very, very interesting. But I think Verstappen's advantage might have got a bit higher as well due to that DRS opening, because we know how quick we know that the Red Bull with DRS open is a tiny bit more quicker. So that might have explained why Max Verstappen found even more time when all throughout the other queues he was maybe a bit more similar to the other drivers. So Verstappen just increasing his advantage right out in front. So we all know, come on, if we're honest, he's gonna win the race. Surely, penalty won't stop him. And yeah, weather can stop him. Gonna be super, super interesting though to see how the race is gonna go. Now, on to Formula 2, because I do need to kind of rush this. So I did say I was going to be there by 50. I wanted to get the stream started at 30, but I was messing around with so much different stuff. I quickly had to run down, and it was just basically a full mess. And also it didn't help because Formula 1 qualifying had to be delayed, didn't it? We had a bit of a delay at the start. We had a bit of a delay to Q3. Just wasn't helpful to me at all with the delay. But Formula 2 quickly. Oliver Bearman took pole position. Formula 2 is going to go very quickly, by the way. Oliver Bearman taking pole position, Frederick Resti in second, and then the podcast began because the rain started falling during the after a few runs. So we had Joshua Mason, the rookie in Formula 2 this weekend. He found the barriers, obviously slippery conditions. He's a rookie. Someone was going to bin it, whether it was him or someone else. It was going to happen. We were going to get a red flag at that point where the track, yes, we obviously had rain later on, but before that, it was still pretty slippery off the racing line. So just get a bit off the racing line and you lose the car. So very unfortunate for Joshua Mason not having a very good debut weekend in Formula 2 with the issue in practice, and then what happened in qualifying as well. But that caused everyone, they were about to begin their laps, but the red flag then caused them to come back into the pits, which then meant that obviously we wasted time in the red flag period. The rain was getting ever closer. All throughout the session, the drivers were reporting that it was gonna start coming down, the rain, and it absolutely did come down. Did the rain? We had Oliver Bearman set his lap. He was behind Frederick Resti on setting the laps, but it was Resti over the line. He took pole, then Bearman took it away, then everyone else just came over the line, and the rain started falling in the third sector. Which wasn't helpful at all for all of the drivers behind. So Preber did really well, and obviously Bearman being the driver behind, yes, he was the driver behind, and in the dry usually isn't the best, unless obviously at this circuit it probably could be still due to the slipstream. However, it was very crucial in these conditions because you have a driver ahead who is kind of showing you where there's grip, where there isn't. If you can maybe see that the car ahead of you took a specific line and ran a tiny bit wide, you can do the opposite, and then you can obviously have a better lap. So it was great for Oliver Bearman. just a few seconds behind, was getting to, but because Vesdi was the first car in there, completely blind, he doesn't know, he could go into the corner and he could go sailing on off the road. So Behrman, being the car behind, he was getting that information from his teammate, which meant he was just able to hook up the better lap, while also having the best of the track conditions that we got in that session. So it was absolutely incredible by Oliver Behrman. Frederick Vesti having to settle for second. It's a 1-2 for Prema, but the crucial thing for Vesti is he is ahead of Teo Porcher. He won't start ahead tomorrow, but for the feature race, the main race where the main points are won, just like the Formula 1 point system in the feature race, he is going to be starting ahead for that one. So that is very, very crucial for Frederick Vesti ahead of Teo Porcher. Porcher just needs to keep just inching into the taking points off Vesti. He'll need to obviously try tomorrow, and then let's see what he can do in the feature race as well. Can Teo Porcher? Anything is possible in the wet conditions as well. I'm sure at least one out of the 2 races are going to be in the wet for Formula 2. Whether it's the sprint, whether it's the feature, I would be really surprised that we don't have at least a slippery track for Formula 2. But for Formula 2, then me and Josh just started waffling on about random stuff and talking about that Formula 1 qualifying might not happen. However, the condition changed super quickly that we were able to get Formula 1 qualifying underway with just a 10-minute delay, and even if we didn't, and to be honest, we could have got it underway, which obviously they wanted to just dry it up a tiny bit more and just get the track too much better. But it might have not been the only reason, because I wasn't actually able to be in that part, because I hadn't had food all day, so I had to run down and quickly cook myself something. But I'm guessing that was the reason. Let me know in the comments or wherever if I am actually wrong, because I wasn't there at that part. But from what I'm guessing, it was probably due to just drying up the track more, just getting into better condition. But really, we didn't even need that. It was still good enough for the session, because we did get a message by Sintel saying the rain has stopped. So that was really, really good for Formula 1's qualifying, and it was able to go ahead. Now, that's it for Formula 2. It was, though, a very wet day. I soon do need to run off as well, so I'm going to try and get through Formula 3 as quick as possible. Now, I have lost a bit of memory of what actually went on in the Formula 3 qualifying session too, after what happened in Formula 1, Formula 2. But I'm quickly going to get it, but it's Marty. That's one of the things I can remember, as I'll just try and get it up. Marty was able to take pole position. What a lap it was by Marty. Marty pulled, as Formula 2 described it, Marty pulled one of his best qualifying performances of the season, taking his second pole of 2023 at a crucial moment in the championship fight. Yes, a super crucial moment, while his championship rival, Gabriele Bortoleto, qualified, I'm guessing it was 15th, but I'll double check that. I will definitely double check that for you, because I cannot fully remember. Yep, he'll start 15th, so I got that one right. So Gabriele Bortoleto will start 15th, and if Marty or any other driver wants to have any chance of this championship, Bortoleto can claim it this weekend. But it doesn't look like with his qualifying performance, he'll have to make a lot of overtakes. But if Marty or any other driver who's fairly close or is in second and third, they need Bortoleto to have the worst races he's had all season, and they need to have the best, and obviously the driver in second and third needs to have the best races they've had all season. Marty starting on pole for the feature race, surely that is possible. He'll just need to make sure that in the sprint race he can just continue pushing on and get a few more places there. But Hugh Barter will start tomorrow from pole position. Gonna be very interesting to see what Hugh Barter can do tomorrow in the sprint race. Gonna be a very, very tight, I'd say, sprint race. Does it go ahead? Will there be rain? There's so many question marks, but hopefully it is a good session. Formula 3, I'd say the best qualifying session of the season for Formula 3. It was an absolutely incredible session for Formula 3. A lot of improvements all the way to the end. We had Prema 1, 2, 3 at one point. The end of the session. I'd say 6, 7, 8, and once again I'm losing memory because I don't have the full results here. I just needed to get an idea of some stuff here. I don't have the full results. Though with me, I do need to now run off. However, to my Roblox League Racing commentary, it is a one-off, and I kind of decided it, and I kind of chose it on the wrong day. Well, that does just about wrap it up then here. Make sure you join us tomorrow on the main channel. Formula E qualifying's going on, I think. Might not be qualifying, I might be wrong. I'll double check that, because I cannot fully remember. I'll just double check very, very quickly, and then I will leave you. Make sure you join us tomorrow back on this channel for a bit of a longer show. I'll try to get out a bit of a recorded piece if there is anything that I have missed, or if there is any news. Obviously, Alpine are having chaos, and if you want to give Josh T's hourly update, people out there, people out there, people out there, people out there. Not exactly worded correctly, but my memory's that much gone that even though we had that with Josh here and Josh B have said that many times, it just does not spring to mind the full phrase. So all you need to know is cars there, cars there, cars there. Who do you think will win tomorrow? Question in the live chat by Lorik, I believe. I'll answer that before we actually do go. I do think you obviously don't know about what's going to happen in the sprint shootout, but if everything goes to plan, we could have chaos if Verstappen has some issues and stuff. However, I'm gonna have to go for Max Verstappen to win the sprint shootout, and obviously, the sprint, and take first place also in the main race as well. So, gonna be super interesting. But if you do have any questions, then we'll be back on the main channel as well later on. I'll actually double check. I think we do have. Yep. So I think it was Formula E practice that was on. Yeah, that's ended. All right. So yeah. That's it. So that's it from all of the action from us here on JB Motorsports throughout the main and the second channel. We obviously will have the highlights uploaded for the Formula 1 qualifying, and we'll be back tomorrow for the F3, the F1 sprint shootout, the F2, and then over the F1, obviously the F1, and then obviously the Formula E later on as well, with the touring car quali coming as well, and practice with the world feed commentary provided by Josh G will stream it, and the world feed will take you through that session. Thank you for joining me though here on the second channel. I do really need to run off for commentary now. I have taken it all the way to the max time I can, because it starts in 4 minutes. So I've kind of given myself a bit of a freeway, and I know I'm getting spammed in DMs, so it's probably that I need to go. Right, thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and make sure you